Hey guys, welcome to the Maf Garage. Now, I wouldn't have put this video up, but I've pleaded and pretty much getting no's, but I couldn't resist showing you guys. So, a few weeks ago, some close friends of mine ended up with a Spec car. They picked it up for $500. It's a Hyundai Tiburon. So with that, they wanted me to look into it and see if I could fix some certain bits in it, namely the body kit. Now, I'll put some photos up and we'll see how we go. I'm still learning my editing and uploading, so just give me a little bit of patience here. But just let me show you the final result of this. So here is a spoiler for a Hyundai Tiburon that I have spent the past couple of weeks fixing up. Now, as you can see, it took a lot of time for these guys to fix their things up and make sure it looks good. Now, I'll show you the rest of the car hopefully tomorrow or the next day when I return it back to them. We get the final little ingredients for them, namely a couple of bolts just to fit into the original holes, like here, here, and then we did a couple of new holes just over here and here. Okay, so as you can see, the old bolt holes were like that. The poor spoiler was held on by a zip tie, and you can see a hole there. I could have filled it, but it was a case of let's see what we can fix with what we can fix, you know, what we've got. This entire section along here was completely split. We've filled it in, and believe it or not, I've only used spray putty, so just plenty of time and patience just to get every crack filled up. And then around on the front, it was the same thing around here. There was a little split here. Oop, ow. Yeah, get this light and you can see it there. Right, when you look like that, gosh, it's next to perfect. It's just the wrong light, it will be shown. That was completely split. This whole area was split. This area up here, completely split. That was split. Now that was the only bit I couldn't fix properly. And then around here, so you can just see a slight ripple there, and that was completely split. Now, this just goes to show a little bit of time and effort goes a long way with a project. And with a project like this, I'll be honest, it was a joy and a privilege to work on. Like, I watched Mighty Car Mods with Twisted, the whole series, and when I first received this project, I sort of wanted to really do something in the same vein to show myself fixing this car and fixing this bumper up, but alas, I wasn't really allowed to do it. But pardon me, but in that same breath, I can't resist the opportunity to show you guys that here I have a piece of AutoSalon history. Now, this thing originally came from Sydney, And I'll show you here. I can get. Oh, there it is. This is going to be the fun bit. Please stay turning. Ah! It's going to stay upside down. But yeah, originally came from Carmate down in Sydney. So you can see there the Model 1. If you want to go check their website, see how much it costs just to buy this on its own. And yeah, all up, I've repaired this for pretty much half of what it would cost to buy it unpainted, brand new from them. So a little bit of elbow grease and a little bit of repair work goes a long way, and you can see a nice piece of AutoSalon history right there before your eyes. So thank you to my friends for allowing me to do this. I mean, if it wasn't for them even having it in the first place, I wouldn't have an opportunity to work on a car like this. And secondly, thank you to anyone and everyone who has been supporting the things I've been doing in the car community lately. If I'm talking to you in the comments section, or if I'm, associating them with you in other forms, thank you, because your support, it's really helpful to me. It really motivates me and inspires me to do more work like this. So it's a couple of days later, and I bet you're wondering why I've been fixing a front spoiler. Well, they picked up this Spec car and it's literally half destroyed when we first got it. It got trashed, paint poured all over it, and I made a promise to them that I was going to make the car be able to drive again. Now, they got close. They only had a couple of little things to do, but one of the major things was that front spoiler. So they enlisted me into it, and I've completed that, as you saw. Now we're going to take that across, we're going to fit that on, and we're also going to bring across my wheels from the Veloster. Now we're going to just see how we can bring a car from 10 years ago, 12 years ago. I honestly don't know its past history. It could be 2003 when it was first released on the streets. But at the end of the day, you've got a car that's had over a decade of being trashed and thrashed, driven from Sydney, left in the middle of central Queensland, and now it's in my hands. And fortunately, I lived that lifestyle, because in the 1990s and 2000s, I was down there writing for the magazine. So I was like, yep, I know this off by heart, leaving my hands. So now we're at this point, we're going to fit it all, and then we're going to upgrade it by putting the wheels on it, bring it up to a 2019 spec, and also upgrade the mesh and all the other little trimmings that we're going to do onto it. We're going to color code it and sort of give it a little theme, because there is a theme to it, but we've got to bring the theme to a full completion, because the guy that did it before just did it really, piecemeal, chop change. So let's fix it up properly and we'll get it going for him. That way he can get his car ready to be registered, and we'll get it 6 months registered on there. And then he'll have new plates, and then possibly the opportunity for one of you to be able to own it, because he loves the car, but his heart's set on another car. And if you guys like it, if you guys think it's a good car after it's all said and done, why not hit me up and hit him up and see how we go. Got to remember, everything is for sale. It doesn't matter what it is, everything has a price. So a little car like that, where we've picked it up like that, and we're doing all this work, all the labour, all the things, but you'll see how clean it is when we get to it. It is a former show car, and I'm shocked that it was put down to this value. Sort of like
Twisted was before Moog bought it. It was like the previous owner got it for $500. Well, consider us the previous owner. Okay, so we'd never own Twisted. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, like, for this car, if it ended up from 500 up to 4,000, yeah, well, you can understand why, because we're not just buying it and moving it on. We're actually buying it, fixing it up, and showing you guys a step by step of what we've done to fix it up. And actually will be good once it's bolted onto the car and completed with everything else. So I'm about to head over to their house, and I've done the finishing touches to the spoiler. I've put the mesh on it and I've painted the mesh. So we're going to take a little journey over to their house, and I'm going to show you guys this Spec Hyundai Tiburon that I've had the pleasure to be working on for the past couple of weeks, and to fit this fully repaired bumper. And the reason we're doing this is today is Friday afternoon. I want this car roadworthy, ready to go, so that Monday morning he's able to have it registered with new plates. So let's see how we go with it. If you have a look, I've got the spoiler sitting there on the Ute, on the Hilux. See if we can get it over. Yep, there we go. So we're going to head over there right now, and yeah, we'll go and fit this, and I'll show you step 2 tomorrow. So we're at my mate's house right now, and I'm just going to walk into the backyard, and I'm going to show you guys what we're talking about here. Pardon the light and the shadows. So it's like 3:30 at night, in the afternoon, at night, 3:30 in the afternoon, so it's getting a little bit sundown. So what you see here, guys, is a 2002 Hyundai Tiburon, former Spec car. Now, we don't know the history of it back in the day, but my friend Kyle, he ended up picking this car up for $500. What an absolute bargain. So he enlisted my help. That's alright, man. Just leave it here if you want, just at the moment, because we just got to get the spoiler off first. If you reckon we can do it in that space, otherwise might as well move it. Yeah, because it's nice and soft there. I mean, rather not restrict the space we've got. But yeah, she is a beauty, and I wish I could have put the flake in it, but yeah, do it from an aerosol can was a bit of a pain in the bum, so we went the next best thing. We got the colour, but just without the flake. So let's see how we go with it all. And here is our special delivery of the spoiler, brought over with the Hilux. As you can see. Oh, don't break the spoiler, don't break it! I just spent all that time fixing it for you. I don't want to spend another 3 days fixing it. Hang on, I'll open it up.
So doggy do not escape. So you can see that going on there now. So let's get to it. So Kyle's just refitting the final headlight. We've already got the bumper fitted now, as you can see. So we've just fully done this together. She's looking pretty schmick now. Nice brand new mesh. We can fill in the little bits there later on. Brand new center mesh. All those splits, all those ripples, all gone. And you can see the paint itself. You see the speckles just from the flake versus mine, which is the normal. You can see it just there. So it's not too much of a deviation, but for something that costs less than the replacement of the bumper unpainted, I mean, total cost of this $200. Just to replace the bumper was $400, and if you wanted it that custom color, it was like heading into the 4-figure mark. So to be able to do this for $200, I'm quite happy that it's turned out the way it has. So tomorrow, as you can see here, we've got some bald ass tyres. So we're going to be swapping all these rims and chucking some new rims on them. And then he gets it roadworthy, and this gets some rego. And then he can cruise along the road happy ever after. So I'll be back tomorrow just to finish this off with him. Okay, so it's a couple of days later, and for reasons out of our control, the inspector couldn't turn up yesterday, so he will be turning up on Monday. Also, I wanted to pull a little surprise on my friends, but a little incident happened at their house, and yeah, it stopped me from doing it. So this morning I actually went over there and explained it all to him, what I wanted to do, and they're all on board for the idea. Piss off, fly. Gotta love nature at times. So, as you can see here, I've already got 2 of the rims sitting there, because the other 2 are actually already over there. And what I'm going to do right now, show you guys, just right back. With their 2 tyres, just factory Tiburon rims, and we're going to fix them up for them. So that'll be the next step. That's going to be a long-term goal for them, but we're going to go over there and see how the car looks with 2 of my rims, and get the other 2 of these ones from that car and put the other 2 rims that we've got here onto that. And then yeah, we'll see how the car looks then, and see if it's ready to go for Monday morning. And yeah, happy days. So here are 2 of the rims we've got here. As you can see, bit of dirt, bit of dust, typical factory rims. The previous owner has just given it this yuck black paint. My mate tried to take some of it off, but you know, not much he can do with the materials he's got, the resources. So better if I get into it, and what we're just going to do is sand the face, and well, we're going to clean it first. I mean, god damn, jeez.
So we're going to clean the wheel first, and then we're going to sand it down. Then we'll sand the inside barrel as well, and we'll see how we go. Like, not trying for a miracle here. I'm not trying to get it back to spec show spec, but we're trying to make it so it looks good for him for the long term, so it's respectable if and when he sells it. So yeah, we'll get into that, and in the meantime, let's load these two into the Veloster and take it over to his house, and we'll mount them on his car. So as you can see now, we've got the wheels on the car, we've got the bumper on the car. Damn, she looks good. She's looking finer and finer. So tomorrow we'll have the inspector around, give it the once over. Hopefully we get this roadworthy cleared 100%. Then we get Rego on it, and happy days, he gets to drive off. And that makes 4 wheels.
Oh,
Yep. So what we're going to do, we're going to take all the dust and all the crap off it first. Okay, clean it down. Then we're going to sand it, putty it, prime it, top coat, clear coat, usual things. So this should take only a couple of days all up. You know, like just, you know me, just smash this out. It doesn't matter if the paint hits the tyre here.
Yeah,
So like, yeah, exactly. I mean, they're all fucking bald as. So best case scenario, we pop the tyres out, like just pop the tyres off the rim, and we just go from there. Or we just paint it, and then we just get burrow pairs or wherever to do that for us. Yeah. So at the end of the day, you're going to have the barrel painted and you'll have the face painted, so you'll have pretty much all of it done. The only thing you won't have is the outer bit that the tyre sticks to. So give me a couple of days with this, and I should have this all completed for you. As you can see, you get some fresh stuff here, so some fresh spray putty, primer filler, and we've got that top coat that you gave back, so that's 3 of them. We've got that colour over there, the Shockwave, and we'll see how far it goes on it. I'm not 100% sure on it. We'll try it. I'll have a look at different colours as well.
Yeah, see what we can make work.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of different good colours that are in different brands, but are very similar in spec. So, like, you have a look at the house here and have a look at the tray rails. Now, you have a look at it from the camera here, and just on the screen, you see it's just that slight shade different blue.
Yeah.
So it's like you got that one there, that one there, just showing everyone. But you can see the difference. And then you'll have the same thing, like compare the blue there against the blue with the anodized. Don't worry, I'm not even showing you. But yeah, you see the blue there and the blue anodized. That's perfect. You know, it's like it's just slightly different shades. So if we can find something that is very similar to what we have on the mesh, and we can put it on this, it'll still work out good. Okay, so it's the morning of the inspection, and yeah, monkey wrench was thrown in the works. They didn't have the money to pay for it, so I'm going to quickly take off to the bank, get some money, and meet up with them and the inspection guy, and then we'll get this done. So let's get this show on the road. So we're waiting on the inspector right now. Thought I'd just give you a little bit of a look at the motor. You can see, nice flake all the way through on the engine cover. Some 4-in-1 extractors, heat wrapped. And we noticed there was stock between the extractors and the cat back, so that was a bit weird. Can filter. Apart from that, just clean. I mean, clean as it can be. As you can see here, it's still got some remnants from when it did get attacked from the house paint. So that will probably attack in the future. It's just, for now, we're getting it ready, back on the road. But considering the whole engine bay was like this, to have only that left, I mean, we've done pretty well so far. And it was all over the body, all up the window, along the roof. It was an absolutely massive job. Down the sides here. You can still see little remnants of it just there. But pretty much all done. You can see it originally had flares. Whoever originally did it put it with elastic, and I'm just, oh my god, face palming at that. And it's the same with the back. A bit of elastic there for all the flares and that. I mean, overall, she must have been a great car in her prime. Like, when she first released, I reckon this thing won quite a few AutoSalon trophies, but alas, I can't find the history of this car so far. I've been looking. If you know someone that owned this car or had some history with it, please hit me up, either on Twitter or on the YouTube channel here in the comments. But yeah, I mean, to have this car and have a one-off chance to work on what would be considered spec, yeah, can't complain with it. I mean, it was enjoyable, good fun. So yeah, now we've got the inspector here, so we'll see how we go with the inspection. So we've just finished the inspection, we're now back at Maf Garage, and we're that close, The only things we need now are a front engine mount, because you noticed a split in it that I overlooked. And also both CV boots need to be replaced. Simple stuff, nothing too over the top, but everything else passed in flying colours. So the tyres, the wheels, the spoiler, all the other things. Oh, I also forgot the intake, the K&N filter, that failed because we didn't have a pipe leading outside the car. So good side of that is that we get to fit a cold air intake into it. So happy days, extra horsepower, woohoo! So I'll leave it here right now. We'll get back to this in a few days. In the meantime, I'm going to be starting to attack these wheels and show you the difference of what it was to what it will be. Okay, I'll be back soon. So we're part way through the first ring, as you can see, still got them going. And that's one of my mum's, but that's for another reason. As you can see here, I'm taking most of it off, and even the inner bits, so let's grab that. You can see they're all back smooth, mostly back to bare metal. But yeah, they're smooth as, so let's put that back in, just so I can remember what I've done.
And then I'll pop the centre cap off and do that centre section around there. And then, yeah, should be all ready to putty up and prime. And yeah, we'll do this one at a time just so we can make sure it's done perfectly. First time, the right time. And I've still got one rim outside because even after 3 hits with the gurney at 1800 psi, still can't get all the grime off it. It's more grimy than a mafia crime boss. Yeah, no pun intended. But yeah, this is just horrid, so it's going to need a full wipe down and everything. So that's the only reason that one's still outside and not in the Maf Garage right now. Okay. So it's a couple of days later and I've been busy at work. I haven't been filming it just because it just would have been boring to look at. And really the point of being around is to get the results, to see what it's transformed into. So let me turn the camera around and I'll show you the results. So as you can see at the moment, we've got that wheel is halfway through being done. Don't worry about the spray on the tyre, we're taking that off. Taking all the tyres off actually, we're replacing them all. So that one's already been sanded and prepped for priming and painting, whereas those two have just been sanded back and they've just got to be done on the insides. But after a little bit of TLC, a little bit of love, you know, a bit of work, a bit of elbow grease, this is what you end up with. And what we're going to do right now is actually start taking this off and show the end result. Can you see the edges? Gotta make sure we've got this right. And I'll just put this down and get this ready. No need. Here we go. So it's a few nights later, and I've had a couple of things come up. Sorry about this, it's just a light to come on. Yay, country music. Dad left the TV on. So I've had a few things going on here at the Maf Garage. Still doing the wheels. I haven't really progressed too much more on it, but I'll show you guys what's going on. As I said in the last little clip, we failed on the drive shafts and the engine mount and the flange gasket as well. So that one I wasn't worried about with the last bit, but the drive shafts and the engine mount were the main bits. So the main things I've got to do is fix the drive shafts. Now, in that time, found out we did have some drive shafts that came with the car, but they weren't really the best condition. In the sense that they looked worse than they were. So I brought them with me, took them back here, and I'll give you a look at what we've got. So here's one of the drive shafts. All I did was sand her back, took the chassis black off her, primed her up, and she'll be ready for her top coat first thing in the morning. Oh, pardon me. But yeah, it's just a quick job, just to make it look good. I mean, it doesn't need to be show quality, even though it is a spec car. But being spec, you know, you've got to, you know, make it dressy and everything. So with that in mind, decided to do this. A little bit of overspray just there. It's like, damn it. But yeah, generally. I gotta fix that. Just little bits here and there, but as you can see, just got to tidy up little bits here. But this is to chuck it under the car and make sure she's going well. So tomorrow morning I'll finish this off and yeah, I'll tidy up the little bits on the end there so we don't have any spots that rust up. Look at that, guys. Just turned out pretty much exactly how I wanted. Blue spikes, black barrel. Absolutely gorgeous. Alright, time to give this a final hit of clear coat and then we're good to go.
I put a spell on you. Because you're mine. I put a spell on you. Because you're mine.
Now we're just going to let this wetness dry and get that nice sheen out of it. This is what I'm talking about. All 4 of them done. Just only had to put the center caps on. Alright, so I got some great news and some bad news. So, great news, yesterday I finished those wheels for the project. So they were ready to be put on the car, good to go. I showed him the project, showed him they were all completed, all he had to do was pick them up. Fast forward to today, 24 hours later from finishing those wheels. Have a look at this.
It gets dark.
Yeah, I don't care. If you can see me, if you can see this, fully smashed windscreen. Now I'm gonna grab the camera off the missus so she can see this. Now I'm gonna get a better picture in the light. This one's smashed. Oh, I'm ready to lose my stuff right here, right now. Like, this is just fucked. I'm just so upset right now for him. I'm upset at him and I'm upset for him. I just don't know what to fucking say. I honestly don't know. Yeah, here we go. Look at this, guys. Fucking look at this.
Yeah. Just completely and utterly smashed to fucking bits. He's done his windows. I mean, that looks fucked. Let's just go, yeah. All the fucking work to that spoiler, fucking gone. Look at it. Look at it. The fucking split all the way along now. All that fucking work I did on this fucking car for him. All it tells me, if I'm going to do this work, I'm doing it for myself now. Like, literally right now, I am still cut. It's almost been 24 hours afterwards. And, yeah, I've got to go deliver these stupid wheels that I've just finished for a car that's completely smashed up. And I don't know how to feel about it. I just... as you can see, I'm right in front of the Saab. All this time was spent on his car, I could have been spending on this car. I could have already had it finished. But I thought, yeah, be the good guy and actually do something for someone that I thought was in a worse situation than I was, you know. And yeah, a bit reactionary last night. I mean, I still feel the same. If I'm going to do stuff, I'm only going to be doing it for myself. So I can't be like all forgiving and all that. I'm going to go help everyone and be as generous as I was. Of course, obviously, this has just shown me to only put faith in myself, to only back myself, to only do the things that will benefit myself and my family, you know. I was just trying to pay it forward and be nice to someone that I thought deserved it. I really thought he deserved a leg up and a real kickstart in life, because God knows through my life I've thought I've had opportunities, but compared to some, it hasn't been like that. And I don't want the future generations copying what I did, you know. Like, I've been there, done that, and I've thrown a lot of good chances away, so I can sympathise with him about it, you know. I mean, he's thrown away a really good car on this, and what am I going to say about it, you know? Like, oh, I feel sorry for you. I can't feel sorry for him, you know. It's his own decision to do what he did. Otherwise, I'd be, you know, full perspective going, yeah, we can fix it up and this and that. But when I looked at that car last night, I just added the numbers up and I'm like, wow, this is going to cost so much. I'm going to not even bother lifting a spanner or anything more for this car, because it's obvious he didn't have the desire to want that car that he so claimed he desired, you know. But it's put 2 months dent into my plans, so now I've got 12 months, which is still a lot of time, but I've got to find the cars and the projects out there to be able to work on them and get them done in time. But now that obviously this project is done and dusted, I'm not doing anything more to it. It's now back into working on these things, getting them fixed, out, driving. I feel a bit cut personally. I just feel a bit cut. I I've never had this happen before, so I did make mention of this last night, but you still, it just boggles the mind. You like, what thought process went through his mind at that moment? I don't know. I'd like to find out, but I'd like to also keep my emotions in check too, because I'm not really happy with what he has done. So at the same time, I still have to get my money back for doing the work on these wheels. So, and also get my wheels back off that car. I mean, thank God it did not damage the wheels. So that's a positive. But might as well take these wheels back and we'll get him to put them on. I don't care how he does it, but yeah, he's got to work out a way to pay for the wheels. I mean, just did all the work and used all my money, so now it's time for him to pay for it. And whatever he does from that point on, that's his own prerogative. It's not my issue. I'm not letting this hold me back. I'm just still trying to reflect on it after a difficult night, and it's really caused a hamper in my life in more ways than one. I won't get into too many details, but it's just a case of, yeah, thanks for doing this to me, because I've literally spent 24 48 hours through this whole process, at least 48 hours at least through this whole process of finishing the wheels, and then finding out that he smashed the car up, going and inspecting the car, and now I'm sitting here putting the finishing touches to give them back to him. So it's frustrating as hell. But it's just, I'd rather log this down right now so that when it's looked at, or if people out there are judging of what's happened, look, it's out of my hands. I can't do anything about it. You know, I'm trying to do the work for my customers and trying to do work for people, but I can't help when things go pear-shaped like this. Anyway, let's get into it.